Hey guys, welcome to Muskie Road Rules podcast and Patreon. Guys, thanks for listening and also thanks for watching, you guys that are members of the Patreon. Guys, this is your last chance, if you're a member of the Patreon, to get in and win a beautiful Hans the Carver crankbait. I'll spin it just like it's magically floating in the air. Imagine my hand's not there. But it's one of the Hans the Carver crankbaits that he makes. This is one of his poly divers. You can always check out Hans's stuff either on Facebook at Hans the Carver or go to buffalooutfitters.com and you can see all his stuff. But whoever gets drawn, this is your last chance to enter, is going to win this bait. Guys, if you haven't become a member of the Patreon, it's super easy. Go to patreon.com, search Muskie, click on the Muskie Road Rules tab, and become a member. It's $8 a month. You get entered into all these drawings. Also, you will get all the podcasts that we've recorded over the past year and a half. If you just listen to the audio version, you can always find us on any podcast outlet right now has us. And check it out. Hit subscribe, and everyone will come to you. I think we're up to like 380 some of these things. So quite a few of them right now. So tonight we're going to talk PMTT. It was last weekend down here on Cave Run Lake, the first one of the year. And I myself, me and my partner, Rick Hoover, did very, very shitty. So that's why I decided that why don't I bring on guys that can actually catch fish on my home water? And I have the winners here with me tonight. I have Sean Boland and Josh McDunn. Guys, how's it going?
Good.
That's great, man. Let's start off by this. And I'm going to ask you guys, Sean, where are you from?
From Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, Ohio. Josh?
Warren, Pennsylvania.
Warren, Pennsylvania. All right. So you guys teamed up. How did you guys become partners?
We met through actually some fly fishing tournaments for muskie. The Kentucky River Muskie Classic, we all fished that 3 years ago. We were all staying together, and that's when I first met Sean through some mutual friends.
Okay. How did Sean, I like to ask guys this. What got you into muskie fishing, and how big was your first fish?
Oh, it was something I've always dreamt of because I grew up right next to the lake that had them in it and never got a chance. And finally, my buddy one day about 7 years ago talked me into it and went up there, and we caught a 43 on a top raider, and I was hooked.
I'm sure. Especially to get your first fish on topwater. That's always fun to watch them and get that done. Josh, what about you?
I'm lifelong fisherman. My dad literally had me on the river here when I was like in a stroller. Guys caught muskies, and we never really targeted them. And then I was like, we catch everything else, and I just full delved into it until I got one. I ended up getting, my first was a 44 on the 4th of July, hand trolling a 9-inch gram on a 12-foot V bottom with like a 1956 Evinrude.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, well, cool. That's both great ways to get into the fishing. My first one was I was a 37-incher. And I hate to say it, but it tasted great. That was back in the early 90s. And, the catch and release ethic had not really hit the old Thomas family on anything. And so we did that through the beginning of it. But let's talk about the PMTT. You guys come here. And how long did you guys pre-fish for the tournament?
I got down Tuesday afternoon, and
okay.
Sean got in Wednesday afternoon. I ran off the lake and picked him up.
Okay. Now, Josh, you've fished down here quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Sean? Have you ever fished the lake before?
Yeah, I fish it couple times a year for the past probably 5 years, it seems like.
Okay. During the spring or fall, or when have
Uh,
you been out here mostly?
Usually once in the spring and once in the fall, and then maybe one more trip in between there.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
only an hour and 40 minutes from me, so it's not too bad. I just don't make it down there enough.
Yeah, I get it. I get it in the Cincy area. And the thing this year that we had that's been kind of weird for the tournament, we actually had low water. I know if you guys are listening to this podcast up north, um, you guys have got, I mean, like the northern range of the Midwest has just gotten a ton of water this year and just a lot of flooding and stuff. And we've actually been in a drought, which is pretty weird. We're usually flooded and dealing with all kinds of water and mud and all that. But the lake right now is, most of the lake is very clear. When I say clear for us, that's like 5, 6 foot visibility, and 2 to 3 feet low, which is, pretty. We got some storms here the last couple of days. It's actually came up. It's only about a foot low right now, but it's pretty odd for this time of year for us to be low like that. And I think a lot of guys in the tournament were probably surprised to see it in these conditions, especially if they fished it last year when it was 20 feet high. It's one of those things. Now, Josh, you fished it last year. Did you fish it, Sean, too? Or
No, I didn't. This is my
okay,
first year, actually.
okay. Josh, you fished it last year when it was high.
Yeah, I've actually fished cave more times high than I have like far more. Uh, so I was like the high water bite pretty decent, and I was kind of hoping for it. But we fished another friend of ours. We fished it last year and the year before. Last year we were able to get fourth with a
Mm-hmm.
39.
Yep.
20
Yep.
feet over. So
Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot different this year than last year. But you guys come down and let's talk about your pre-fishing. How did that go for you guys?
free fishing was great. We were steadily on fish every day. Before he got here, I had some really nice quality mid 40s fish up to the boat. I had one try to eat twice, and she just missed it. And
Mm-hmm.
we stayed right on them all the way through, right into the tournament. So
Yeah, so you're feeling pretty good about the tournament when it started.
yeah, we had two different patterns that we were pretty confident in to go on. So
What do you mind sharing what the patterns were?
so the first one was we were planning on casting for them bigger fish, and once I raised them, we started looking at other areas on the lake. That was more the main lake itself. We started looking at other areas that set up similarly, trying to looking at the water temp, the fish coming off spawn, and like where the crappies and shad were coming up, kind of like that magic zone. And what we were finding is anywhere there was a real defined point with like good hard rock, standing timber, we were finding bigger fish were staging in those areas because there was crappie moving in. They were coming in for the spawn. There was a lot of shad there. We caught one right in front of another team pre-fishing on Friday, and then the other pattern we had, which is the one we used for the tournament that got us the win, is we were trolling for them, and we were finding fish anywhere from 20 foot down to 10, and we were just you could see on the side scan how the fish were real low, and they were like belly bottom, but they were right near where the bait was kind of hanging out. So we were getting baits right in their face and just running them a little bit slower. Necessarily they're kind of being lethargic, like is either fast as hell for the casting bite or nice and slow just to get them to just come over and just grab it a little bit. And most of the fish we got in the tournament, they both were in like 10 to 12 foot of water, and we just kept the baits consistently near the bottom, like 6 to 12 inches right in there
Mm-hmm.
the whole time.
What so
What
the You said you mentioned going slow. What kind of speeds were you running?
I've 3 to 3.2 was like where they liked it at. That every bite we got was right in that speed right there.
Okay, so really slowing it down and just dragging it ultra
Yeah,
slow right in front of their face.
we got a real nice one that would have been great in the tournament on Thursday. Doing the same thing, and as soon as that worked, and it worked pretty quick, and what I was seeing, we left it alone because it was actually right in the same area where we caught our 2 fish in the tournament. We just said we're gonna walk away from that. We're gonna go work on finding these bigger fish, casting and that, and then that's what we came. We ended up coming back to that mid Saturday. We tried to cast in the morning, I mean, you've done this a long time. A 45, 46-inch fish in this tournament is a game changer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It'll definitely put you in a really good position. Anytime you can get a fish of that size and that caliber to come up and eat, and especially you put one like that in the boat, it's going to beat a pair of 34 inchers, and that's always good to have that bigger kicker fish there. That'll really help you out. So going into it, you guys had some stuff going. Sean, what was there any type of baits and stuff that you guys found that were working for you?
Casting was big. Twitch baits, it seemed like, or bigger. Not going to say big, but
like what is there? Was there like a brand or something that you were doing, like 7-8 inch grandma? What was happening?
Josh has got the answer to that one.
I got a really good friend, super awesome guy named Zach Baker.
That son of a bitch.
He last year for the tournament coming down there, I said, "Hey, I got an idea for something." I was like, "Can you make this for me?" And he's like, "Absolutely." So I told him, he's like, "Okay," and he whipped up a couple for me. And it's a similar body to his 7-inch crank, but it has a squirrely tail, and he actually made mine with rattles and glow paint. I have an orange and white one too. They've both been chewed numerous times down on Cave, the Kentucky rivers down there, and we were using these. I've actually done real good on the Adams Havocs down there. That's what we got fourth with last year. What I was noticing with that clear water, anything that rattled that was loud, they just did not care for it. This one, this has a real subtle rattle in it.
Okay.
And they were coming after that. I have another one. It's not here on the table. The Sean was thrown. It's a more natural, like shaddy sucker color that doesn't rattle at all.
Sure.
And the other bait, like Fat AZ Raptor, this was doing good for us. Just a natural shad. It doesn't rattle at all. But I was working this at an ignorant speed.
Meaning slow or fast?
Ungodly fast.
Oh, okay.
Ripping it down as hard as I could, and then just keeping that, not really giving them a chance to get a good look at it and just get that reaction bite to it. So,
okay. Yeah, the Raptors, they're a very quiet bait, and also they're a very neutrally buoyant, almost sinking bait. It's not going to rise back up for you, and you can really get those things down there. The Fat AZ, they really they're a really unique bait for that reason. But that so casting, that was your game plan. You're trolling. What were you trolling at slow speeds to keep them down there?
We were using like a smaller. It seemed to be right in that 5-inch range. We had a bait coming into it that was like our golden bait, and we actually got that hung up in the standing timber, and in the process of trying to retrieve it, somehow opened up the stay lock snap and left it submerged about 10 feet down. So, and that was, it was a similar pattern to this, like a natural crappie. That's what we were getting bit on good. The tournament fish came on, and that was a 5-inch baker. Our first fish on Saturday came on this, just a white pattern. It's a real light orange belly, black stripes. This is a little bit deeper of a lip. This is a baker, OG long lip 5. And it seemed to be that the fish wanted something in this size pattern. We tried round bills. They didn't want that, but it seemed like the square bill, just the smaller square bill that had a little bit of a hard wobble to it, is what got it done. And then they luckily, like, when the two fish that we caught in the tournament and the ones we got pre-fishing, they weren't just nipping at it. Like, they were hooked very well. They got the bait, right in there, both trebles. Our fish on Sunday, a little bit dirty water. We went back to something a little bit brighter but natural. And this is in Andrews, and this is what our fish on Sunday came on.
Okay.
Just I love blue and white down there. It's one of my favorite colors.
Yeah, anything natural, shad looking, stuff like that definitely gets it done. I'm going to bring up some pictures here. Now, this was the first fish I think you guys got on Saturday. That was your Saturday fish. Give a little what kind of happened there, Sean?
We were trolling right down that bank, and the outside rod, me and Josh were just sitting there bullshitting, and next thing you know, the outside rod, we both looked over right as it got slammed and kind of both looked at each other like, that's a fish. I mean,
yeah,
that was probably 100 trees later we caught, so.
Yep. No, I know that there's definitely a sound that comes from a fish hit rather than a tree hit. Yeah, you can tell that fish there has definitely been feeding up.
Yes.
That was a chunky guy. How big was that one?
38 and a quarter.
38 and a quarter. All right. How did the fish, you hook up with that one? Everything come into the boat pretty clean, or was it you weren't cursing the net man, were you?
Almost, but no. It got hung up right on the rim at the last second, and Josh flipped the net over and scooped it right up. So,
well, you got to have a little drama. I mean, that's the thing that makes her all exciting. Now, Josh, you have a jet boat, which is pretty unique. You're probably the only one here that runs a jet. How is it trolling out of a jet? I've never done it. I fished in a jet before, but I've never tried to troll in one. How is it?
It's not bad. My boat's it's not a true flat. Like most guys, when they think of a jet, they think that real true flat bottom, and the jet will kind of make it slide. Mine's actually more of a bay style boat. It's got a little bit of it kind of V's a little bit, and it's real wide, and it tracks well. What most people didn't see in terms of, like, I had a kicker for it, but after hitting a few stumps and stuff up there, it was just getting in our way. I just got it right off the boat, and I was like, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
I do it enough without it that I didn't even want to bother with it. But
what brand jet boat is that? What brand is that?
Mine's it's an 1870 Crestliner CXJ with a 9065 Merc on the back of it.
Yeah, is it a tunnel hull?
It is not.
Okay.
And it runs super skinny. It's what I run the river here, and it's surprising how skinny it goes. But with the width, that's where you get the buoyancy in it.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever had problems with in a jet was the wind. Tends to blow them around pretty good. Do you notice that much?
Yeah, especially like as wide as my boat is, it doesn't sit in the water very deep. Mm-hmm. And I do fish some bigger water. I mean, I take that on Lake Erie, Chautauqua up here. I actually I guide on a big reservoir similar to Cave. If that wind kicks up, it does make it hard sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine, because it's basically just scooting along the surface of the water, and it doesn't have a big foot
Right.
a big foot down there. So Saturday, you said you started out casting, then went to the trolling. Did you guys have any other chances on Saturday?
I don't think so. If we had a rip, I didn't notice that it was a fish, or there might have been one or two that like it was like iffy. That was that something on the bottom? Was it one nipping at it? There's no way to know.
Sure. That's that's what I was wondering if you guys had much else going on. Now, the area you guys were fishing, were you guys looking? Was it a bait fish thing? Was there a lot of bait around, or?
Yeah, the bait was all right there, and we were focusing on that. The bait was kind of it was everywhere up in there. Where we expected to get bit is not where we got it. Actually, we expected to get bit right around the 15 to 18 foot area, and both of the fish were 12 and 10. So,
Okay.
but I mean, the bait was there.
Yeah, you can definitely see by the girth and the belly on that fish. It had definitely been feeding. It wasn't like a post spawn skinny fish. I think a lot of these fish down here have spawned. I think a lot of our fish here might have actually spawned super early in April, maybe even late in March, and they're not actually in recovery mode right now, and they're not as scarred up as some of them that you were seeing earlier. But so going into Sunday, how did you guys feel about going into Sunday?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you guys felt like the area had more fish in it, and you could maybe pull one. Did you guys try casting it all Sunday, or just go straight to the trolling?
Not at all.
We went straight to the trolling. We just stuck to the game plan.
Yeah, it worked. You got that bite, and it was definitely something that you thought could happen again. So on Sunday we had clouds early, and then the clouds started dissipating about 9-10 o'clock, and we got a little bit of wind and stuff. And so this is the second fish right here. I can guess where that's at. But this is the second fish right here. What time, kind of how long did it take you guys to get this fish going?
It was getting late. I was getting antsy. I know that it was it was after 10. I think quarter after 10. And
yeah. I can see it's definitely the clouds started clearing. I can see some blue sky there, a little bit of sun. Definitely, it looks like the wind might have picked up a little bit. There's a chop on a small ripple on the water. That area, you're not going to get much big wind in anyway. And so kind of give me the story on this guy, Josh.
So there'd been boats up there. There's a couple guys the guys that religiously fish that pretty hard. They're beating it, and we finally were able to get up in there, and I said, I'm going to go right up into the marina. I'm going to go right up behind the boats, everything. Like, we're just going to drag the hell out of it. And I think we made one pass around, and I started seeing some stuff on the sonar, and I was like, all right, we're going to keep working this. And we actually come up around, there's a pile of rocks in there, come up around that. The other rod got snagged, and that one got snagged, and I went to get it off real quick, try to get it before we had to turn around. And then the other rod went. Sean goes, that was snagged too. And I'm jumping over the boat, slamming the rod down. I'm like, that's not a snag. That's not a snag. Like, that's a fish. And ripped it out of the holder. And I mean, once I had it pinned on, we made sure the other rod wasn't coming out. He was already with the net. That one went in super clean. Yeah, we netted that one. And I knew that was big for us. So
how big's this fish?
That one was 39.
39. All right. Your boat partner right there, Doggy, looks very excited for you.
I think she was over our BS for the week. So
Yeah, yeah. There is it he or she?
it's a she.
She's like, okay, this is why are we here? Um,
Right.
I've seen you do this before. Yes, it's another fish. So excited for you. I have to poop. Uh,
Yeah.
that's exactly what she's thinking.
Yep.
It's spot on.
In the picture. So this fish actually came further back, right? It wasn't. It wasn't in the area that you originally thought. I know this area very well. I've spent a lot of my life there, and
Yeah.
it is. And there's the thing about this area too is that uh, there is pathways in there around like the shallow stuff, because this place has some shallow stuff in it too that if you get up on, it's only like 4 feet deep.
Right.
And so you were finding the fish in the deeper areas, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. What anything else go for you on Sunday? What anything else happen for you guys?
Sean, you can tell him.
Yeah, right at about 12:53, we're hand trolling around that same spot. Hit the exact same spot he just caught that fish on earlier, and like a 12-pound channel cat grabs a crankbait and just would not come up. I looked at Josh and said, "We got a monster! Get the net!"
Yeah.
And then it was a channel cat.
Yep, I've actually I caught one there earlier in the week, and that was my only catch in there. The one thing I really think was cool that you guys figured out is how those fish were on the bottom. I actually fished that area all morning, Friday morning, doing the same thing, but was running baits higher and faster. That's what had worked for me in there in the past, and they weren't biting. They were not. We had one fish on the scope come up while we were trolling. Came up on a bait, came off the bottom, just never put it together, and chased a bait, but did not have a strike in there. Like you, the bait was ridiculous in there. It always is when the water temps start to get what they were getting in that mid 60 range. And no, it's pretty awesome. You guys were able to figure out what they actually wanted to bite on. Did you have any more you thought were musky bites besides the catfish that day?
No, I don't think so. Couple
But no, we
trees, that's
did.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was getting antsy. Because I like coming into the day, I told him I was like, we got to catch at least 2 today to be in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was the standings were so tight on Saturday. I mean, if you looked, we were in 5th, and 6th, 7th was 38, and then the next 3 were all 37. So it wouldn't take much for us to get kicked right out. And if we wouldn't have got the 39, we wouldn't have made the top 10 at all.
Yeah. No, isn't that the weirdest thing, with tournaments is that, you can go from setting pretty good and then all of a sudden the next day. Well, what was interesting, so there was 26 fish caught, and what was unique about this tournament, I thought, was there was 15 on Saturday caught, and on Sunday there was 11. And that's a pretty high number. Normally it's always half as many fish caught on Sunday as it is on Saturday. So there was damn near as many fish caught Sunday as there was on Saturday. So I thought that was kind of a unique thing to have as good a bite as there was on Sunday. So yeah, I can definitely get what you were saying. I've felt that pressure myself before. Where the hell are these things? I need another fish.
Yeah, I really think that cloud cover we got on Sunday is what helped. We decided to just troll because so many fish were caught early on Saturday. I was like, all right, we just need to get up in there and get on our pattern so we can capitalize on that morning bite, which didn't do anything.
Yeah. That was using that. It was the first time I'd ever used the Fish Donkey app, so I wasn't expecting Saturday morning for my phone to heat haul at me when
I
a
know.
fish was caught.
I was just listening to the Muskies on Tap podcast up at the shop earlier, and my phone kept doing that, and I thought it was yelling at me on Saturday because I couldn't get the damn fish sent in, and it wasn't loading right. But now that I know it was other people catching fish, uh,
Yeah, no, it was pretty wild that how it kind of did that. No, I mean it was a good tournament. It wasn't anything great, but that anytime you can get a 20 to 30% catch rate in a tournament is typically pretty good, especially when you got so many guys fishing water that they don't know and finding fish. Is Cave Run similar to the waters that you fish at home? Josh?
and if you look at it from the surface or the air, yes. Go to fish it? No. We don't have much for flats. They didn't leave any timber in this reservoir up here. Like I love fishing cave, and guys up here they call this the Dead Sea. Guys will come up and fish for 5-6 days and never see one. But I mean, they're there. They're 100% there. That's what helped me really kind of learn how to break this down up here.
Yeah. No, I get the one thing we're not short on.
They're similar, but they're not.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing we're not short on at Cave Run is structure. We've got a lot of stuff for them to hide in and around. Sean, what about you? Is it similar to other stuff that you fish?
Yeah, it's a lot bigger, but it's real similar. I fish Caesars Creek a lot up here.
Yep.
And it is pretty much set up the same. I mean, it's loaded with trees. It's deep. It's pretty big and just a lot of fingers. There's just a lot of places for him to go and hide.
Yeah. Now, Caesars, you have a little more steeper banks, right?
Yeah.
Am I thinking right?
Yeah, I mean, Cave might have like more sudden drop-offs on the banks
Oh, okay.
than we have, but it's pretty close to the same.
Sure. It's that I've never fished Caesars. I've been invited to come up there and to do some stuff, but I've just never made it up that way. But I've always been told that it's very similar to Cave Run here. Most guys tell me that's a lot of guys I talk to hate fishing it in the spring. They said it's too hard to catch them in the spring, but I've never been there. That's just the group of guys I've talked to.
Oh, it's game on in the spring once they spawn up in the headwaters. Once they're ready to eat, it is ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah. I have heard about the headwater bite up there. Now, is it flooded this spring and dirty water there?
No, it's been low. Like you said, I think they've been spawning up here for the past probably month and a half, easy.
Yeah. That's well, I think our fish went way early. I even was in an area that typically is a great pre-spawn area, and I went up there. I was up there the second week of March, and the water temp had already creeped up, and I scoped at least 3 pair of fish spawning just as we were fishing through it, and I thought that was pretty wild to see them that early. But the water was already 56, 57 degrees.
Yeah, I was going to say it was 65 3 weeks ago up here.
Yeah, no, it has. The water temp here has not came up terribly much. And we're actually, I'm sure, if you guys are getting this cold front right now, our water temperature is going to stabilize. It's not going to move much here for the next 3 or 4 days. Hell, they're even talking close, maybe even frost warnings one morning.
Yeah, we got one Sunday.
Yeah, that's same here. It's really dropped. And today I was out and it stayed right around 66, hit 67 in just a little bit part of the day, but it was like 66 the whole time. I'd say in the morning it's going to be a little lower just because of the way the way this weather and stuff came through. But it's pretty awesome. You guys were able to come down here and get some fish, get them to go and figure them out. Your trolling setup there, Josh. How did you, what are you, as far as like line and stuff like that? How far back were you putting those baits?
We're the Baker. We were running that like where we were catching in that 12-foot range. It's pretty short. That's only running 20 to 21 foot, and
Okay.
the Andrews it was 25, 26.
Okay. Yeah, the Baker, I noticed there had that kind of had a bigger bill on it. I figured it had a pretty steep dive curve. And was it now? Were you trying to maintain contact with the bottom,
Yeah,
or were you just
that
above?
little thing. I was flirting the disaster the whole time, just trying to stay right above it.
Yeah. Were you
Just
making contact with
just
the bottom every
as
once in a
close
while?
as we could get to it.
Okay. Were you making contact with the bottom every once in a while?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
plenty.
Yeah. That's always fun. And because
Yeah.
where you
We
guys
were hitting the
were,
bottom
there's
a
some
lot
ropes.
because yeah, we
What'd you
found
say?
one. We found a cable. We found a
Oh,
huge ass cable.
oh, there's a lot of them.
We found a cable. Uh, um, I don't know. I don't know if my service is going bad or what, but no, we were getting snagged all the time. Lure retriever got a pretty good workout through the whole weekend and the week. So
Yeah. Well, we ended our tournament on Sunday with a double snag. Rick hung out the front of the boat. I was hung out the back. So I'm like, well, this is fitting. This is a nice end.
yeah.
It was definitely one of those deals. As far as your rod and reels you're running, what are you doing?
Uh, so the ones we were running on the tournament, we were running, those are 9 foot, Mojo Muskies, Akuma Convectors, 80-pound suffix on them. I did notice that every time we got hit was on a fluoro leader. So I had steel on one, ditched that, stuck straight to fluoro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, most of
Now,
my rods are set up the same.
yeah. Now, you said you were hand trolling there at the end. Um, is that just I did that some too. Um, not there, but when I troll timber, I hand troll quite a bit just so I can react quick to a snag. Is that kind of what you
Yeah.
were thinking?
We were doing it for that, but along the one bank there's that real deep, there's a big hole in there. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Um, we were literally just trying to maintain bottom contact with all the rocks and stuff in there. So as we were coming through, we'd have the rod high and then just slowly dip it down and stick the tip in the water, so we could keep. There was somebody on down scan, side scan. We're just trying to get one. Actually, a couple buddies of mine were fishing the same area in the tournament. After we got the second one, they started trolling too, and we passed each other. He goes, "You see what I see in there?" And I was like, "Absolutely." He goes, "Get her. We want to see you guys pull this off. You got a better chance than we do." And we just kept going over and over and trying to just get a lure right in her face and just get her to
Mm-hmm.
go. But
Yeah. No, I get it. Sometimes that hand trolling can actually. It was weird. I fished a tournament. God, this has been a long, long time ago on Kincaid Lake, and I don't think those fish had ever seen a Wiley lure there at the time. And I was trolling with a friend of mine, and he liked to hold the rod, and I'm like, whatever. I like rod holder,
yeah,
and he was running a 6-inch jointed, and I was running the same thing, but he was holding his rod. He ended up catching 7 fish on the rod he was holding versus my one fish I got on the holder. I don't know if he was moving and not knowing about it and maybe adding a little jerk to it every once in a while. We don't know, but it was amazing at how many times that rod that he was holding was getting bit versus one in the holder.
that's wild.
So yeah, and again, when you're trying to run multiple lines and stuff, which I do a lot, especially in the South, It's hard to do a hand line and run multiple lines. You can get everything tangled up pretty easy, but it is something to think about. It's something that I always wonder about when I'm out there on the water and stuff, moving it around a little bit. But Josh, I know you're a muskie guide. Where do you fish at, and how can somebody get a hold of you?
I'm guiding on the headwaters of the Allegheny River, run about the first 40, 50 miles of it down, and Kinzu Reservoir that feeds into the river. I guide on that too. A couple smaller surrounding lakes we do. You can reach me on Facebook, Nature of the Beast Fishing, Instagram, or you can call or text me at 814-706-2830.
All right. Well, good deal. Sean, do you got anything you want to plug or promote?
No, Josh, that's it.
It sounds like he put you on him. There's the picture there holding the trophies. Big check. What was it like when you heard your name called?
Disbelief.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice. It's always nerve-wracking when it gets to that first and second place. You're like, oh boy, did we do it? Did we do it? Did we do it? And then it happens.
I was doing the number. We were standing there, and the numbers in my head. And when I seen the big fish for Sunday, I'm like, oh. And then instantly I knew, and I'm looking at him, and I was like, I think we're in the top two. Like, we got to be. Our fish. I know how big our stuff was, and I'm just thinking, like, is his name Fred there? Letterer?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I'm thinking, there's no way that he did not catch another one on Sunday. I was like, he had to have, like, we're in second. And when, as soon as Tim said in second with 37, I'm like, I mean, I knew right there. There's a couple of guys that came up in the back and they watched us realize it before. And they said that was pretty cool to see, because we're just like, holy shit, like, really pulled this off.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome, I'll tell you. And you got a nice little payday there for coming down and fishing over the weekend. And guys, I really appreciate you coming on here, telling some stories and stuff. It's I think the listeners are really gonna like it, and a lot of good information. Before we sign off here, I just want to say, guys, check out thornbros.com. Thorn Brothers, if you're looking for rods, reels, electronics, baits, anything up there, they've got some really good deals, and they're always willing to help you out. So check them out at thornbros.com. Also, if you're looking for rain suit or fishing clothing, check out Gill products. I've been wearing them for a while, and like I always say, if you're too fat to wear Sims gear, check out Gill. They fit me, so that's good. But check out Gill Marine, Gill products. Guys, thanks for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, just hold on for a second, okay?
Hey, thanks for having us.